I now call to order the August 24th, 2026 Planning and Zoning Board meeting. We now have a quorum. Are there any changes to the agenda? All right, hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as agenda.
As presented, okay. Second. Okay, motion by Barry, second by Lauren. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Conflict of interest statement. In accordance with North Carolina Government's Ethics Act, it is the duty of every board member to avoid both conflict of interest and appearance of conflict, and are instructed to refrain from participating in any matter coming before this board if there is a conflict of interest or appearance of such conflict. If a board member has a known conflict of interest or appearance of conflict with respect to any matter coming before this board today, please identify the conflict and refrain from participating in any matter involved. Does any member of the board have a conflict of interest in any matter coming before the board today? Approval of meeting minutes. I guess I'll do them separately, or you want them together?
You can do them together.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the regular minutes of May 26th and also to approve the joint meeting minutes with council on June the 15th of 2026?
I'll make a motion to approve
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Motion to approve the minutes of May 26th and June 15th. Motion made by Paul and second by Barry. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, signify by saying nay. Okay. Under new, let's see. We have new business, case number TA 2602, text amendment to Unified Development Ordinance, section 7.6, water and sewer, to allow for septic development on larger residential lots. I'll now turn it over to Andrew.
Okay. So this is probably going to look kind of familiar because we discussed this less than a year ago. If you recall, we had a text amendment in front of the board where it was more restrictive with the use of septic systems. This board was not necessarily in favor of that amendment. After what we've learned the last year or so, we've decided to look at this again and kind of reverse course on it. So I'll go over some of the specifics. You just need to click on where the...
on the previous page?
Yeah.
It's not letting me do that.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this recommendation is brought forward by staff requesting to amend section 7.6 to allow for development on septic systems where appropriate. I'll state that we've learned a few things in the last year since we've adopted our moratorium. One, if you can't provide wastewater service and you won't allow septic development, you could open yourself up for some legal action because the person cannot develop their property. Two, by allowing septic systems, it will allow for larger lot development, which is something we haven't had a lot of in the last, I'd say since about 2020. Most of the developments we've had have been the smaller postage stamp lots, as I like to call them. Developers not going to build the larger lots if you're going to make them extend a sewer line because it's just not expensive. It's too expensive and they can't make a profit off it. So just a couple things. We've had some people that have proposed some septic development that we're currently looking at. So just a little bit more background on what we're looking at tonight. Okay, I just explained the fall of last year we were in front of you and basically pushing more of a sewer than a septic. Again, I explained with the moratorium in place, we're looking back at this as we think we're going to reverse course on this just a little bit. So this amendment would basically allow small-scale family development in the ETJ develop on septic, which what we have now is not the case. Okay, so anyway, this is the language that I'm proposing. The new language is in red. The crossed-out language is what we're eliminating. So this slide here is all about residential development. So it still requires any new lots within the town limit that are under a half acre in size to connect to a sewer system. But if the lot is a half acre in size or greater, they will have the option of doing a septic system if they are in our RS district, which is our suburban residential district, or RP district, rural preservation district. The reason I got that language in there is minimum lot size in the RS district is a half acre. So basically all the other lots in town are going to be RT or RM, which are smaller than that, and they wouldn't be allowed to develop on septic anyway with state regulations. So if a lot is a half acre or greater in area, the developer may choose to develop the residential lots on individual septic systems. We left this in here if town water is requested along with the individual septic lots. Annexation into the town limits is mandatory, which is a policy the town currently has. And that's, again, if it's not already in the town limit. So basically, if they're requesting water with the septic, they'll still be required to annex because they're wanting the water service. But we will allow them to move forward on septic tanks if the lot is a half acre in one of the two zoning districts that are a half acre or larger.
Do you still have to get the city water?
No, you don't have to.
You can have a well?
You can have a well because most of these lots are going to be outside the city limit anyway in the ETJ areas.
Right.
So there's a potential the water line's not even there.
Yeah, right. That makes sense.
Yep.
So the rules are not. I thought if you're in Troutman, I thought you had to have city water.
If you're in the town limit and the water line's there, yes. But we're looking at these lots. Most of these lots are going to be outside of the town limit.
Okay.
So, and again, the water line might not be there.
Right.
So we're not going to require them to extend a water line.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So the option will be there either way for the developer.
Well, that's a good deal. Well, septic, yeah, I like that.
And so what this is basically eliminating is these distance requirements we had last time, that if you had a certain amount of lots, you were required to hook up to sewer. Basically, if you were within 1,000 feet of sewer, you'd have to extend it no matter how many lots you got. So one of the things, again, I mentioned I don't think the board was really in support of when we changed this last time, but just what we've learned, we think allowing greater septic development in areas that it possibly could work out is something to basically permit now. And then this slide is just for non-residential development, which is a lot less complicated. So we're just basically adding the language in red again that all non-residential development in ETJ requesting town water shall connect to an existing sewer line unless the extension of that sewer line is deemed unfeasible or an alternate method is approved by the town engineer in NCDEQ. I'll preface that by saying that we've had discussions with NCDEQ about allowing non-residential development on septic, and it's very tough for them to approve an alternate method. This is just to cover us, but most likely this will never be the case. And so with that, staff obviously recommends the planning board make a motion to support the amendment, and council will hear this on September 10th at 7 p.m. so long as everything moves smoothly. And I'll open it up for any discussion or any thoughts.
Anyone have any questions for Andrew?
So, just a question, Andrew. As you mentioned, if you're going to have septic and a well, it can still be half acre minimum.
That's right. And so Iredell County Environmental Health approves both septic systems and wells. So if there's any kind of spacing or area restrictions that will not allow you, like let's say you need bigger than a half acre, then you're just going to have bigger lots. But
Right.
since our RS district is a minimum lot size of a half acre, it just marries well. So that's why we've got that half acre in there.
Yeah, I didn't know if city water or a well made a difference in the size.
Yeah, it most likely will,
Yeah.
which could it could push the developer to go ahead and request a city water because they're not going to need that extra space for the well. So that's another way to look at it. But anyhow, they will be able to do either or with the septic systems.
Now, does the developer submit one plan for the septic for all lots, or does each individual lot need a septic approval?
Yeah, the way we've written this is each individual lot will need a septic approval.
Okay.
Yep.
Because it has to perk, I mean,
That's right.
no guarantee.
Right.
They could have an acre and it not perk.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, if you've got a developer that's going the septic route, they've usually consulted with soil scientists to see, exactly how many lots they can get.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll now open the meeting up for public comment. Is there anyone like to? Tanya? Okay. All right. I will now close the public comment time. Any questions from the board? All right. Is there a motion regarding the recommendation of the text amendment TA 2602?
I'll make a motion to approve it. Case number TA 2602, text amendment to the Unified Development Ordinance, section 7.6, water and sewer.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion by Barry, second by Lauren. All those any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, signify by saying nay. All right, we now need a motion regarding consistency statement and text amendment TA 2602.
The motion regarding consistency of this action, if this text amendment is consistent with 2018 strategic plan and the Unified Development Ordinance, and reasonable in the public interest as is consistent with the goals of the Troutman strategic plan.
All right, motion of consistency statement by Barry, second by Lauren. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, signify by saying nay. Under old business, we have none. Under other business, we have public and comprehensive land use plan.
So I just kind of wanted to give a quick update. Our new comp plan is moving through the development phase pretty well. We should have our draft land use map ready to view relatively soon, along with the associated policies and language. So, but I did want to announce to the board that we do plan on having a second community meeting, public input meeting on September 21st. And it's going to be another one of the drop-in sessions, and we're going to have two different time frames. The first being 11:30 to 1:30, and then the second being 4:30 to 6:30. And again, if you can't be here till 6:30, we're not going to kick you out. So
11:30 to 1:30, and what was that?
4:30 to 6:30.
3:30 to 6:30.
What was the date on that?
September 21st. I believe it's a Monday.
It
It's
is.
going to be here?
In Town Hall, yes.
Okay.
You got the address?
Yeah, I got it on GPS.
Oh, good. You're good there. I do have a quick question for you,
Mhm.
Andrew. So given the time frames available for public comment, or I guess public input, would it be possible to extend those hours for folks that get off work at 5 and have to get through traffic either end of
Yeah.
Troutman? probably extend them to 7:30?
I don't think that'll be an issue.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't quite announced it publicly, so there's still room to move those hours.
I put it on Troutman because I thought it was 12.
Sorry, no, it's okay.
So you're going to move on?
We'll talk about it. Yeah.
Do we have a sergeant on ours?
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yep.
Do we have anything else?
I'll say we're still doing. You probably. I'm not on the front line of our sewer expansion projects, but we do have a contractor that we're looking to hire. I think the council voted last 2 weeks ago now to move forward with the contractor to build the sewer line from basically the Shin Farms development down to the pump station in Mooresville, which will free up space for us to eventually lift the moratorium on the southern part of the jurisdiction. And negotiations with Statesville on the northern part are still ongoing. But we are working behind the scenes with that as well.
So we really have no real idea when the moratorium will be lifted.
The sewer line to Mooresville, completion date of that is scheduled for summer of 2027, so they're looking at July. Once that's open, we'll be able to lift the moratorium for that portion of the town. Obviously, if something were to be worked out with Statesville, we could probably do something in the northern section, but I'm very fortunate that I'm not involved in those discussions, so I'm glad I'm not on the front end of those.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
The building up here is, what is that?
Well, you're talking about that very, very attractive building next to the office that I'm in.
Yes.
It's a temporary office for town employees, because we've grown quicker than the town hall has expanded, so we've run out of space for folks. Hopefully, it won't be there long. And I know everybody's definition of long is different, but let's just hope for the best.
How many people you got in that building?
The new one?
No, the old crappy one that you rented.
Oh yeah, the new old one. It hasn't been CO'd by the county yet, so right now it's just the ghosts, the mice, and the ants.
There's no people in there?
Not yet. No. Duke Energy hasn't come to install the meter. Yeah.
Oh, okay. How many people should be in there?
Somewhere between 6 and 10, and it's rather roomy in there. So there's actually a lot of space in there.
So that'll satisfy the overflow?
What's that?
Will that satisfy the overflow?
For the time being, yes. It should satisfy until we get our expansion to the town hall completed.
Really? And when's that going to be?
Hopefully within the next year or two.
Okay.
Is that going to be on this property here or somewhere else?
So the latest plan is just to add on to this building, kind of like the original plan back in 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
On the back? On the sides?
There'll be some expansion on the footprint, but it's also going to go up.
Oh, okay.
To a 3-story? Be 3-story?
Oh, right here? Or
The new,
behind?
yeah, the new part.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
That's all I have tonight.
All right.
I have one quick question.
Okay.
Mr. So I've noticed that we've been doing a lot of ordinance updating. Are we gonna, just so that there's, a consensus across the board and make sure that the ordinances line up here and there, are we gonna do kind of like an audit of the ordinances as a planning board? Or is that even included?
So my plan is once we get our land use plan adopted, we're going to hire a consultant to do a whole new ordinance. Because in the last 5 years since I've been here, I believe we've done probably about 30 text amendments, which tells you something about it. Now, that's going to be time consuming. It's not going to be immediate. So we've kind of discussed some other options moving forward if council were basically on board with it. We could get a private consultant firm to kind of just come in and do an overview of what we have, and anything major they see, maybe make some suggestions to us about immediate changes while we're going through the process. So that's an option, but we're definitely not satisfied sticking with the ordinance the way it is.
I figured.
Yeah.
So we've been changing it.
Yes.
All right, gotcha. Thank you.
All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
I wanted to stay for at least an hour and a half.
We can vote this down.
I think it's late.
It's not too late, we haven't voted.
Motion by Paul to adjourn, second by Lauren. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those who will stay. All right.
Let's hope your pressure goes